Hey everyone, so this is probably take 10 on the assignment now. This is the case study for who are your students. At Reynolds, I have been frequenting the Art 12 class, more importantly because there has been a student there that I've been observing lately. He kind of sets himself away from all the other students. He just sits in his own little desk section, he's hunched over, he's got his hood on, and his head is always focused down. He doesn't seem to engage in the other students. This particular Wednesday followed after the Cops for Cancer fundraiser, so there was a lot of hype and buzz about it. A lot of students were discussing Head Shave Day, pledges, and what their future plans for it was going to be. With that, they were all engaging with each other and being very active, but this particular student didn't even lift his head up or speak with anybody else in the class at all. The particular assignment that they were doing that day was a copper etching, and so it required a lot of steps and a lot of tedious work. So most of the students in that class were almost at the finishing stages of the project, whereas this particular student I was observing hadn't even put his drawing onto the copper plate yet, which is the very first step. So rather than observing, I actually kind of went up and spoke to him to kind of get a feel for what's going on. I was looking at his drawing and it was a simple logo, and I asked him what it meant, and he said it was basically about a game that he really enjoyed. And so I asked him then what the next steps were for the project, and he said that it was to put the image onto the plate. So I asked him to maybe go and figure out what his next steps were with the teacher just to be sure. He brought up his stuff to the teacher, and he had actually said that the image doesn't follow under the qualifications for the assignment, and so that he had to redo his image. I definitely thought the student was going to get very, very upset over this, but he just didn't care. He just sat back down and continued on with another drawing. From that, I kind of gathered that he just did not enjoy this particular assignment very much. I had asked him before what his interests were in art and if he was planning on anything after graduation, and he strongly said that he loved art and that he was actually thinking about it for post-secondary. So it kind of threw me off that he was very behind this assignment and had no motivation to even do the assignment, but he really, really enjoys making and creating art. The class was really, really busy, and so the teacher was feeling really, really sick and getting questions asked all the time. So this particular student I was observing kind of fell below the cracks because he didn't get as much attention because of the other students were taking up the teacher's time. I kind of just gathered that it's because these particular students were well ahead on their assignment and needed the help now, whereas the other student I observed was very far behind, and the teacher just knew that he needed to get his image done in order to follow up with the next steps. I don't fault the teacher for that at all. I just understand that he is going to eventually get to the student, but the student, it's his job to get to the next steps where the teacher can help him. As for finding out what the quality and quantity of the work was, there really wasn't much that I could figure out because he hadn't done anything. I'm hoping that maybe in the next week that he would have had some progress on the project and I can kind of observe how that went. My overall understanding of this student was maybe he just wasn't motivated with this particular project, and that he just needed to get that extra push. So for next Wednesday, what I plan on doing is following up with the teacher and asking him what his future plans for this student are, how he's going to assess him, motivate him, just encourage him to do this assignment and get it finished. And then my job is to maybe actually sit with the student, do some work together, get an understanding of who he is and what kind of art he actually is interested in, maybe get a feel for why he isn't interacting with the whole class and just keeping to himself. Hopefully he'll be open enough to that because we've had some time together now, and with that, that's what I hope to find out for next time.